Hello and welcome to this 2025 Beginner's Guide to Cities Skylines. If you're like me, you don't have the money to buy all the DLCs for Cities Skylines, so I'm gonna show you how you can use a mod which is free and easy to download, at least for PC gamers, so that you can create your own fantastic looking parks with a lake inside and all kinds of fantastic trees. It's gonna look really good, and let's get going. So to install the mod, we'll go to the community tab in Steam. We'll type in Cities Skylines and I'm choosing the Cities Skylines 1, that's the game I have. And here we can go to the workshop. And in here we can search for the landscaping tool. I'm just gonna put in landscaping, hit enter, and here it is. So I click on this. And down here there's the subscribe button, and I'm gonna click on this one as well. Alright. When that is done, I go back into the game and I can hit the content manager here and click on the mods, and then I can find this mod that I just installed. It's right here and it's already set to on. I'm gonna leave it to on. There's some options, but I'm not gonna mess with them. And that's pretty much it. Now it works. Alright, so now that we have everything installed, I'm gonna start building the park. I'm gonna pause the game and then I'm gonna dezone the entire area that I want the park to be in. And I'm gonna be making a huge park right here next to the school and the library and all that. And it's gonna be 4x3 blocks, which is a ginormous park. But anyways, that's what this episode is about, so let's make the park. While they move out, I'm gonna delete all the roads. Alright, so now this area is gonna be our park area, and I think it's ready to go now. We have a little bit of plants left, but everybody moved out, and we have kind of prepared the roads around it. So let's get going. So one of the things I want to do, and I think is fitting for every park, is that I want to have a lake here inside it. Oh, I just gotta fix this road over here real quick. There we go. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to make a lake in here. So to do that, I'm going to click on the new landscaping tool, and it opens up all of our new features here. We have a lot of settings for the brush, and we even have a new thing over here called sand. So now we can put sand everywhere if we want that. And we got these two exciting ones over here. We got the water marker, so now we can put in water, and we also can able to put in some resources, but we're not going to be looking at that today. Today I'm going to take a look at making a lake here and then making a park around it. So to do that, I'm gonna choose the smallest brush over here, and I'm gonna crank it up a little bit. Let's see, a little bit bigger than this, maybe around 100 or something, maybe 70, 80 is probably good. Yeah, I'm gonna crank down the strength of the brush very much, like way down here. And I'm gonna use this shift terrain tool to kind of paint. I'm gonna right click. It's too strong still, I think. I'm gonna crank it down to 0.04. See if I can kind of paint a lake here. Let's see, I want to kind of make it this shape, I think. Could it be a little bit bigger over here, maybe? Like that. Alright, so that's going to be the shape of the lake. And now comes the exciting part, to put in water in this lake. I'm going to click over here in the water tab, on this one, on the place water source, and then I'm going to crank down the water capacity a lot, like all the way down here. I think, yeah, 0.06 is probably good. And then I'm gonna pause the game, very important, pause the game, and then I'm gonna click right here, and that actually, you know, kind of activates the water feature. So if I just unpause the game now and let it run, it's gonna flood the entire city. You can see when I mouse over the cylinder, everything gets grayed out, and that's kind of the level of the water. But if I click on the cylinder, if I left click on the cylinder and drag my mouse downwards, you know, dragging down on the mouse, it'll lower the level. Let's see how low can we get it. We can get it all the way down here. I think that looks perfect, right? That's gonna fill out the lake. It's gonna be a little low over there, but we're gonna fix that. So let's unpause the game and hit escape. And now when the water comes in, it's gonna kind of come in waves. So we might have an initial flooding, but don't worry so much about that. I mean, we should have contained it. And also we have some tools we can use. You can see it kind of overflew a little bit over there. Overflew? Is that a word? I don't know. Overflowed. All right, so it looks good. But I don't like this edge of the lake here. It's too sharp for me. It's gonna overflow a little bit over here. Let's see. Is that a problem? Oh, that is a problem. All right, so let's fix that. We're gonna use the level terrain here to fix that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the level terrain. I'm gonna pause the game, and then I think I'm gonna decrease the brush size kind of a lot here, and I'm gonna kind of grab this level and then drag it over here. And the way I do that is I right click within that level and then left click and drag. As you can see, it kind of paints it over, but I have decreased the brush strength too much. I'm gonna increase it up to, let's say 0.9 or 0.09, and I'm gonna left click and then right click and drag. It's still a little bit, you know, not strong enough, the brush, but eventually I'll get there. And I'm doing it like this because I don't want to overdo anything. I think we'll be fine now. Let's unpause the game again and see. I think the lake is contained now. It almost looks like it though. What about this stuff over here? Is that gonna stay there? We'll see about that. We'll see about that. I might need to push it up, push it away. That was kind of a... I didn't expect this to happen. Let's just say it like that. I'm gonna increase the strength a little bit to see if I can get rid of that. I don't want that water in my park right there. Oh my goodness. It's not gonna let me get rid of it. Alright, I think eventually we'll push it out. That was kind of unfortunate. It's gonna eventually run that way. Alright, but what I want to do is I want to kind of even out the edges of the lake, because they're a little sharp, I think, and they kind of look a little fake in a way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to the soften terrain tool, and then I'm going to increase the brush size a little bit again. But decrease the strength a lot again, all the way down here. And then I'm just going to left click and kind of paint. See if I can kind of paint this area. As you can see, it kind of evens out a little bit. But it also makes me kind of delete the lake. That was not the purpose of it. So let's see, maybe we need to to increase the depth a little bit again. Let's or the size of the lake. Oh, wrong one. All right, let's do it again. Let's kind of deepen it in again, and I'm gonna flatten it out the other way instead. I'm gonna flatten it backwards over here, this way. That's better. Alright. I think we're having a pretty nice lake now. It's not too big. It has kind of an interesting shape. It's contained. It looks like there's still some water on the road right here, but I hope it'll go away. I think it will eventually. So now that was the first step. So get the lake in. And now I want to make sure that I have some actual parks, because when we put in trees here, it might help a little bit with the sound, and some people might get happy when we put in trees. But what really increases the land value around the park is the actual in-game parks. So I want to put in a couple of these small parks. But the way I want to do it is I want them to be here on this side, because here I can do a little trick. I can make them kind of appear a little bit further in. I don't want to put them up here on the big road just because of the graphics of the game, but I'll show you in a second here. But first I'm gonna put in some helper roads here. I'm gonna put in the fantastic gravel road here. And I'm gonna put it as close as possible. Is it gonna let me? I'm gonna pause the game a little bit here. Let's try to take off all the grids. There is a version of reality where it'll let me put it super close. Here we go. Super close to the other road, as close as possible here, without it making the bend. Don't make the bend. All right, I gotta put on the grid maybe. Yeah, alright. So there we go. I want that. Don't want it to snap on. There we go. Okay. Because now, since this is so close to this small road, I'll be able to put in the park and then delete the road again. I'll show you. So I can put in the park. Oh man, it's too close to the lake. Okay. I can put in the park right here, for example. Put it here. Let's put it a little bit over to the side. So, all right, and then I can delete this road, and it'll still seem like it's connected. You can only do that on the small roads. You can't do it on the big roads. And then I can paint in the path here. Let's say. Oh my goodness. There we go. So now we sort of have an entrance to this park. And I could do the same thing over here, but now I have the lake in the way, so I can't really fit it there. But I could do it on the other side. Let's do that. See if we can light it up with the road this time. I don't think we can, but and then let's put in let's say a dog park over here. All right, and now we can then bulldoze the roads. Good. All right, so now we have these parks inside, and I think this is enough to have these 3 parks. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make my own entrance here, like the main entrance from the school. And the way I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna pick the path again, and then I'll see if I can kind of make it. Maybe need to disable the grid so I can go right in between here. I think this is pretty much the middle, right there. Let's see if I can go straight. Oh, let me use this one. Just a little bit. There we go. It always does this. I don't know why it does this. But then here, from here, let's make a kind of a roundabout of paths. It's a small one. Oh, we need the road grid lines actually. Oh, I might have messed that one up. Let's start over. Too big. There we go. Alright, it's not a perfect roundabout. I don't know. Let's try again. There we go. As round as they come. All right, and what I want to do is since we don't have the DLC, the park DLC, we're gonna make our own pretty park entrances. One of the things that comes with the DLC is park entrances, so we're gonna make our own. And what I want to do is I want to put this rider statue right there in the middle. But since we now have this new brush, I don't want to paint rider statues. If I click now, I'm just gonna be painting them on there, like multiple of them. But I'm gonna go click one, and it looks like it's almost aligned. If it's not, I can right click and then drag. Like right click and hold and drag, and that will enable me to kind of twist it, turn it a little bit here. So let's see, I think there we go. I think that's kind of perpendicular to the street now, and that's probably around the center. So now we have this beautiful entrance with our own statue there, and this is something we made ourselves. That's much better than the DLC, I think. So besides that, one of the things I want to do, I might want to make an entrance over here. Let's kind of make a similar entrance over here. I don't know what to put in the middle though, but I guess we can come up with something. Let's make another one. Right, so now the question is what to put in the middle of that one. We could put in another statue, just for consistency. What is this? Kiosk. What have we got? What have we got? Cannons? Cannons is an option, I think. Oh, maybe we should put in... I think we have this one. That's pretty. Let's put that one in. Right in the middle. Boom. There we go. So now we have two main entrances, and what I'm gonna do now is fence the entire park. First I'm gonna paint some paths to the entrances over here, and then I'm gonna fence the park. Alright, so now we have fence all the way around the park. It's starting to look really nice. But one of the other things I want to do is I want to plant some big trees right at the entrances and all the way around the park. So and I think the best tree for this is the oak tree, the live oak. And it comes in two different sizes, so if you get the small size, you just click once, click twice, click three times. Alright, so now it spawned the big one, right? So we want the big ones near the entrances here. Alright, so now it's spawned a small one again. So I'm just gonna put some oak trees all around the park. They're good looking anyway. So let's see. Here was a big one again. So now when I get a big one, I'm gonna use it here in the entrance. Well, there's another big one. I'm gonna continue. Alright, and then I'm gonna see if I can spam some trees here. Let's see. So that's one of the nice features with this extra landscaping tool, is that I can make these lines of trees. And what I also can do is I can upgrade the trees on the roads out here by just choosing the tree and then clicking on the road. I think that's really cool, and I'm gonna have all these huge... It's gonna be the Oak Park, I think, this park. Alright, so now we got oak trees all the way around the park. So now let's make the path all the way around the park as well. Alright, so as you can see, my roundabouts, they got really crooked when I connected them up. I could redo them if I wanted to, but I think it's gonna be fine like this. It's gonna be okay. So the next thing is I want to paint this area a little bit with some trees or some plants. One of the first things I want is I want to have some, let's see, some grass around the lake. Like this kind of grass. Yeah, let's do some grass around the lake. Because I think it's pretty normal that, you know, lakes, they have this kind of, you know, grassy, you know, and I can increase the brush size a little bit now. And I can kind of paint it in. Alright, we need to increase the strength again. More. There we go. Even more. Alright, so it's not showing up as I kind of want it to. Alright, I think it's better to just go down to 1. I can put them in like I want to. Alright, so also let's put in a couple of hedges. Oh, they're very small. Here it's maybe a good situation to use the brush. Let's just sprinkle them in. Alright, so we have them kind of randomly spread out throughout the park. Maybe that was a little bit intense, but just to show you how it works. And then we need to put in some nice trees all the way around the park. So I'm gonna take this all the way down to single and 0 strength. And then I'm gonna start painting. Alright, I think that's about it. I think that's good enough. So let's take a tour of the park.